this is one of probably the best podcast. Because it was so insightful. It's so,
Everyone has done what you're so many people have done what you're trying to do, but you haven't done it yet.
when you see yourself in camera, it's like, oh, I need to kind of. It's like feedback.
Yeah,
it's a feedback loop. It's like, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It doesn't lie.
It doesn't
oh my
lie.
gosh, man.
Dude. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's for damn sure.
That's amazing.
They don't
I
even know we be
appreciate that.
scrapping like that.
Nah, they don't know. I got some footage that I'm gonna probably stick over here. And then they were like, what do you mean? I was the one that told you that I like you first. I was like, no, I gave you like the hardest signals, and then you came up to me and you told me that you like me.
Okay,
You know what I
but
mean?
It was probably the craziest relationship I've ever been through. Working with the models that I did, they tagged me in everything.
Oh, okay. So
Literally, they would have millions of followers, and then they would just tag me in everything.
perfect. What happens? What really happens in the brain? They took 2 scans of someone on heroin and someone that's in love, quote unquote, and they were virtually the same. Yeah.
I didn't see no.
I didn't see none.
You know.
You would, you motherfucker.
It's gonna cause you to have this fire to literally want to be the best version of yourself in every aspect of your life.
What motivated you to do like social media modeling and makeup? Start off with how you got started with like the whole social media.
Well, first and foremost, I feel like when social media really started peaking, I was at the beginning stages of social media when it was like just starting. So it's like I was already on like the hype of it. I was just kind of with the flow of how it was beginning. So I like truly when it began is when I was on it. Like this was like when I was in high school. So it's like I was already in the movement.
Dude, that was a while ago.
That was
right?
a while ago.
That
So
was a while ago, yeah. I mean, not to say like.
no, literally, it's my 10-year anniversary this year.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so like 10 years ago is when I really
Damn.
started like getting on there and just started like promoting myself in a sense of being a makeup artist.
Yeah.
And then, so been doing makeup literally since I was a kid. Like that was like my way of art. Like I would literally just be like painting faces. Like it was fun for me. I never looked at it as like a business. You know what I mean? It was just like my way of art. And then as obviously I got older, I was like, what do I want to do? You know, and I was like, makeup, you know? So that was like my bread and butter since forever. So I just knew if I wanted to promote and amplify my business, I had to be on social media. So I was already doing it naturally on myself. And then as I started building my clientele, I started doing promo for that. And then, you know, I went through a whole transformation for myself. You know, I was not this version of me always, you know, I actually was like a very chubby, insecure girl growing up. I never really had, I don't have the confidence that I have now. Like obviously you build confidence as you get older, you know?
Yeah.
But I started becoming this new version of myself, transforming myself. I got my boobs done, you know, I just became this whole new woman to where I was like, I just started adding more tools to my belt, as in like modeling, creative directing, like doing everything that went hand in hand with makeup, because I was always the one doing the makeup on these girls for like photo shoots, for just like events, etc. Like, you know, I would always like transform these women into making them literally just like these super confident, beautiful women, and just seeing how much I would make them feel and what I would do for them. And I was like,
Absolutely.
I do this for myself, you know? So that's when I really actually started branding myself in different ways versus just being a makeup artist.
Yeah, so just in that statement, there's a lot to like unpack there. Number one, there's one thing that I wanted to point out, because you had said that you just love to do makeup. And I think part of like what we do, not just in business, is that, man, to be able to be consistent at anything, like we were talking about before we started recording, damn, you kind of have to love it to stay consistent, right?
You have to. See, and that's with me. I have to be passionate and creative in what I'm doing to really have the drive to be consistent. If I don't love what I'm doing, I'm not, like, it's like I feel like I'm gonna burn myself out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But most people, I think when they start with business, they think about trying to get all this money, and I don't blame them.
Right.
You know, they try to, it's like, oh, if I had $1 million, or, you know, they think of themselves living that kind of lifestyle. But damn, it's so much more than that. It's
Yeah,
like, dude,
absolutely.
you have to love what you're doing. Otherwise, you're
Absolutely.
going to burn out.
Exactly.
How did you feel when you were just first starting off? And when did you start kind of like, were you burnt out at all? Or did you just really, really love to do it?
I just love to do it. It was like, I'm thankful that I have a gift and a talent to where I was be able to make a business out of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, and like that's not many have the privilege to say that. So being able to just literally jumpstart that from the jump, like truly, like the moment, that was really the only job I had, was being a makeup artist, like was just doing what I love to do. So I never really got to feel I'm forced to go to work, or God, I have to work this 9 to 5 and I like don't even want to work. Like, you know what I mean? I never had that feeling because I always loved what I was doing.
Right.
But I know regardless, how I started, like, cause I used to work at a makeup counter. So I was like working at,
Where, like Sephora?
At Mac, actually. I was a
okay,
Mac girl, bro.
Like at Macy's or something?
Yeah, no, at Nordstrom, actually.
Okay,
Hey,
okay.
Nordstrom was like the top tier though. Like cause like,
Dude, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So,
Back then, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, back then, working at being a Mac girl back then was like
No,
a
for sure.
dream, bro. Like, oh my God, the fact that that was my first goal in my career journey, basically, and that was the first thing that I succeeded in. So I just knew with whatever I wanted in my life, I would achieve because I wanted it that bad.
Yeah.
You know. So, and then I worked at the counter for like 3 years, but they don't pay you shit. They don't even let you. They don't even let you take tips. So I'd be like, you can slide in my belt, you know.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
yeah, but
just do the,
it's literally, you know,
yeah.
I didn't see none.
I ain't seen
but,
none.
You know, I'm gonna grab you, you know.
You would, you motherfucker.
No, but then I knew if I really wanted to hit new levels of myself and actually really transition myself in my career and make something of myself, I had to make the leap of faith of working for myself. So
Interesting.
So that was scary. That was like my first leap of faith, first like just going all in for me was like when I was 21. I literally just like stopped working for the counter and just started literally promoting myself on social media and started working for myself. And then I actually built a clientele up at that point to where, you know, word to mouth, regardless, like energy is everything. And then especially when you're good at what you do, people are going to always promote you and going to always, you know, put good word in for you.
Weird how that happens, right? And I gotta say, every time you go to the gym, you're always so personable. Like you say that because I could see it.
Yeah.
It's almost like you just kind of radiate it.
Right.
You know, and it's just effortless. It's not like you just try to. You're like the homie.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You
You're
met
like,
Miyagi,
like,
bro. Okay, I gotta shout out Chris real quick
Yeah.
though, because he was truly one of the people who like transformed my Muay Thai game. All right.
Hey, you know.
Hey,
Hey,
so
everyone needs a Miyagi.
gotta add
you
that
know?
one. Okay,
Everyone-
they don't
I
even know we be
appreciate that.
scrapping like that.
Nah, they don't know. I got some footage that I'm gonna probably stick over here. That's for real too.
I know,
that's
like,
what she
that's
does.
real life
like,
shit though.
Yeah,
Got these
but
wounds on my elbows actually.
you know, respect to you because at a young age, I think most people they try to go down that secure path of going to college. And again, I don't blame them for it because it's the secure way. They want to build like this family and this trajectory of like, all right, let's go have kids now, and then let's I want to be like a lawyer or whatever, president of the United States.
Right.
But we come to find out like. Some people do, but we come to find out like life hits us in the face.
Right.
So where I'm kind of getting at was like, how did you even have that drive to just think like you wanted to work for yourself? Because most people think that it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to college. How we were taught, right? That's what society teaches us is because they're like, yeah, you should go into college. Not that I'm against college because I think it does offer some benefits as far as like, yeah, if you're going to be a doctor, you should probably go to like med school.
Yeah, of course. There's
know?
like certain things in life where you should go to college. There's certain like career paths where you have to go to college.
Yeah.
But it's like college is honestly the biggest fucking scam I can think of, in my sense, and
Sure,
you know,
sure.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
But you know, I actually heard a quote when I was really young. It's like you either take the risk for yourself or you work for someone who did take the risk.
Wow.
So
yeah, sure.
that's when I knew
that's
I
a
was
good
like, I'm like, me work for someone else.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I just can't. I don't want to be on someone's terms, on someone's time. I want to be able to control my time and to be able to have the freedom and to have my own business, like,
Yeah.
my own establishment. So it's like, I knew from the jump, like right when I took the leap of faith to work for myself, I was like, I'll never look back ever again.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
good to hear, especially for, like we talked about our younger selves.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, whoa, fuck, like you're kind of saying that you could pretty much be whatever you want. It's like what you dream of as a kid.
Absolutely.
But of course, a lot comes with that, right?
course.
It's not just glam and all this shit. It's
No.
just it's a lot of hard work too.
course,
Like we were
absolutely.
talking about, it's consistency, which I kind of want to segue to. What are some of the hardships of like what you do as far as modeling?
Mm-hmm.
What are the pros and cons that you kind of like? Oh fuck, I don't feel like doing this shit today. Sometimes.
See, and that's
is
that's the thing, because no matter what and whatever you do in life, like you will go through your roadblocks, you will go through your creative blocks, you will go through your times to where you question things, and if you think sometimes that things are the right path for you, but it's like you truly have to bring yourself back to base on why you started and what inspired you and what made you creative and love what you do in the beginning. Because it's crazy. I actually, as of recently, and another thing too is like, life isn't perfect. We all go through things in our lives to where, if you're not there mentally, it truly bleeds in all areas of your life.
Absolutely,
especially
100%.
when it comes to your business. So, I went through a couple things in my life to where, I was just very clouded to where it would affect my work. It would affect me, and then it would affect my health, my mind, like everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like, that's why truly I say the main part is having the foundation of your mental health and like, being in the right place of your life and loving your life and loving yourself first and foremost, to where it's gonna cause you to have this fire to literally want to be the best version of yourself in every aspect of your life, which is first, you got to love yourself first, which is like, it's gonna make you the best version of yourself in your business.
Yes.
So this was actually something I recently just went through myself, actually, to where I did have, because like I'm a human being, so I did have my moments of doubt, of just insecurity, just because of things I was going through in my life. But also, you got to look at yourself in the fucking mirror and remind yourself who the fuck you are. Right. Remind yourself why you're here, what you love to do, what makes you different in this world, and why you love what you do. Yep. Because, regardless, you're going to have those moments when you question everything. You know?
I mean, talking to you now, that's a crazy drive to have.
Yeah.
It's like, it's insane. It's an insane amount of drive, because it's almost like what you were saying was, it's almost, okay, we could say our affirmations in the mirror, but you actually really got to believe it.
Yeah.
You can't just actually go to the
Can't
mirror and
just
go,
say
hey
it,
man, like
yeah.
I believe in myself.
I wrote it on the wall and I read it today. Like, nah, you got to feel that shit.
Where does that come from? Where do you think? What do you think it came from? I don't know, your parents, your childhood, like what? It had to come from somewhere, right? That energy had to come from somewhere, the way that you're driven that way. And
absolutely.
like,
I'd say, honestly, I've always been built that way. Okay. I'm very thankful to say I've always had a confidence in myself to where I know I'm her. I'm her, okay? Right. I know no matter what, no one is me, and that is the flex of its own.
Absolutely.
Is I am a one of a kind in this world, and I bring a different type of energy to everyone and anyone who I meet. Like that is one thing I could say about myself, is whoever I meet, I leave an impact on in every way. So I just know, and that's always something. It's like, it's in me always, but I always have to work on it, because no matter what, like I said, I'm a human being. I have my moments of, questions and doubt and just feeling all the emotions you can, but it's also like countering it with like two good thoughts of yourself, two thoughts to like actually amplify your confidence. You know what I mean? So I'd say regardless, it's like knowing like I can do this. Like if I don't do this for myself, no one's going to do it for me. Right. So I have to get up and do this for me. Mm-hmm. So it's like even with anything in my life, like the gym, with my work, with my health, because here's another note on for me is like I was always a chubby girl growing up. Yeah. In my life, like in my genetics, like we love to eat. We're Latinos.
Yeah,
so,
I actually in one of your Instagram videos, I did see it, and this was a while ago too. I did see that, and I was like, wow, that's pretty powerful actually, because I think a lot of people go through that where they're not where they want to be, and fuck, like we said, it's so hard to start. going to the gym or starting your business, whatever,
Right.
that it's almost like, fuck, the road is rough. The road is rough. So what made you, so you were talking about, you were a chubby girl at first. What made you kind of just want to get up and be like, okay, man, like I gotta like get healthy or get fit or whatever?
Man, because people are fucking mean for one. Let me tell you that. Okay, I like no matter what.
No shit.
It's crazy because like I will always remember those moments of when people made me feel belittled in myself.
dude.
You know what I mean? I'll
Fuck
always
that's a big
remember that
driver.
feeling. But you know what's funny? Those same motherfuckers who were talking shit are in my DMs trying to talk shit. Okay, so regardless, I think for me, it's like I just didn't want to feel that way anymore. I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I have to make a change.
Yeah.
Like I have to be the change for me. I have to want more from myself. So it's like I finally was just fed up with it, and I was like, I gotta do something about this.
And I'm sorry, did you do this during, like, were you already like modeling and doing makeup and all that, or did you decide to change that like?
This was actually very early in my life. I feel like this was me like
before you
high
started
school.
doing
High
social
school,
media
basically.
content?
Yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
okay.
But my weight has always fluctuated.
Sure.
Always. So like I
You
already,
love to eat, dog. Like,
yeah, I know.
Yo,
And
man,
then-
like, fuck, I got some brownies here, dog.
Dude, that's my shit. Like and me, like sweets,
I know, it's like crack, dude.
yo, that is my crack. Like I'm literally like that's like I'm itching right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
hear
like,
you,
I want
I hear
one,
you.
but I
Yeah,
can't.
You're good. All right, don't jump over the table and punch me in the
No,
face
dude,
and jack
see,
me.
and
Okay?
that's the thing. Like people are like, yeah, just moderation, just have a little bit. I'm like, I don't want to. If I have one, I want the
For
whole
sure.
fucking thing. So it's hard for me to control that. But either way, it was definitely like I always fluctuated my weight since I was a kid. So it's like I went through the motions of losing weight when I was a kid, but then it would fluctuate. So it's like I was always up and down, and then when I was like 21, I was like partying, I was drinking, like, you know, we'd get fucked up and I would go eat after, like, it's like, and then not even realizing how much alcohol actually has such an effect on your body and has such an effect on your
Dude,
weight.
yep.
So for those watching this, if you drink, and you better cut that shit out. If you're trying to lose
Crazy.
weight, that's for damn sure.
Do you drink at all?
No.
Oh, interesting.
I actually don't
like,
drink.
not even socially, because you know you'll get that
No.
from people where you'll ask them, oh, do you drink and stuff, and then they'll be like socially, but sometimes I don't even know what that means.
No, right.
It's like, wait, do you
like,
do it like 3 times a week? Like what?
like, but why? You know, like for me, I'm like, that shit's just empty calories. I'd rather have like a
Sure.
fucking burger than have like an alcohol. Like people don't realize how many calories are in alcohol.
Yeah,
you know?
I think the general rule, like for anyone that wants to lose weight, trying to
Your
struggle to lose
liquid
weight.
diet is the most important one of them all. that's
Exactly.
for
Don't
sure.
drink your calories.
Yeah, don't-
pretty
exactly,
much. Like
exactly.
either with soda, Gatorade, whatever.
Exactly.
Don't drink it.
I'm like,
Just-
I'd rather have a donut than a soda.
no shit.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. You'll
Like, I'd
get
rather
better.
eat
Yeah,
something.
get better dopamine out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, truly, when I really transformed my body, was when I really cut out alcohol, and then once I actually got my implants, my boobs done, because I was like, bro, I can't have these and then have like a little like Humpty Dumpty, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of my girlfriends have it. Like,
But I feel like that, because once I got my surgery, like I couldn't work out for like a month. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, and me, like my body, what is it called? I'm an endomorph body type. So it's like I will gain weight in all the wrong areas.
Sure.
Like literally, if you put me next to like an ectomorph, they can eat what the fuck they want and be like this. You see me, and I become a fucking potato. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's just like genetics, right?
Yeah, just genetics, of course. But I just knew I had to be really strict on I had to really be on my shit if I really wanted the body I wanted. Especially because I was getting my boobs done. You know what I mean? So I was like,
Yeah.
I had to keep myself in shape. So that's when I actually really transformed my body, because I was like doing like Stairmaster every day. Like
Right.
my diet was crazy. Like I was just on, and like I would work out twice a day, every day.
Yeah.
And then that's when like my body really started peaking. And then I was like, and then I was working with all these photographers, all these models, and I was like, and they were like, Zoey, like you look so good. Why don't you do a photo shoot? And I was like,
Oh, interesting. So
Yeah.
you were doing that's great. So you were doing makeup for them at first
Yes.
before you started
Yes.
doing modeling, and that's how you got into it.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, go on with the story. I
Yeah.
needed to put two things together.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah.
I would do, like I said, I would be the one behind the camera getting them all ready. But then obviously, like, you know, they see me and they're like, "Oh, like, why don't you try?" And I was like, "All right, like, I guess I'll try. Like, you know, I've never done that before. Why not?"
And they're being, sorry to cut you off, but they were being honest too, because I don't think people would just say that just to say that, right? I mean,
yeah.
let's face it. Like, I don't want to be that asshole to say it, but then if they didn't think that you had something in you, I don't think they'd be,
wouldn't say
especially when it comes to physical aspects of your looks.
Right,
If
exactly.
you're not,
You don't look the part.
you don't have
People
the
are-
genetic lottery. Like, you don't look the. I mean, you're not gonna bullshit someone, like really bullshit someone. And be like,
Right.
dude, you should be like a model.
Right. I'm not just gonna throw something out there if I don't think it's true.
Yeah,
You know what
so
I
that's
mean?
great, yeah.
Yeah. So I and then I was just working with a lot of the photographers out here to where I had the access to do that. You know what I mean? Like, and they were willing to work with me because I was always working with them, and we already had like our way of working to where they're like, yeah, like like it was just nothing for me to ask, can I do a photo shoot with them? So like my first photo shoot, it truly just like this whole version of me just lit up. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even realize like that version was in me.
Interesting.
Until I did my first photo shoot. And I was like, wow.
Oh shit.
I can do this.
And
you
by
know?
that time you're already working out and fit. And
Yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah.
Okay,
And by then I was like, all right, I'm really gonna stay on my. I'm
No
like
shit.
really gonna stay in shape because it's like if I'm gonna be in front of a camera, like camera don't lie. That's for damn sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Like okay, Face app and like Photoshop lies, but like the raw camera does not lie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So like that's when I would know if my body was fluctuating. Like when I would do photo shoots, I'm like, you better not post that shit.
Right. Yeah. No, I completely hear you. Yeah.
You better not post that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like kind of a good assessment to where you're at, right? When you see
Yeah.
yourself in camera, it's like, oh, I need to kind of, it's like feedback.
Yeah,
It's a feedback loop. It's like, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It doesn't lie.
It doesn't
oh my
lie.
gosh, man.
Dude. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's for damn sure.
That's amazing. So by then, when you started modeling, did you already have a certain amount of followers or a following because of your makeup, or did you?
So the beauty of working with the models that I did, they tagged me in everything.
Oh, okay. So
Literally, they would have millions of followers, and then they would just tag me in everything.
Perfect.
And then at that point, like at first it was my makeup page, right? And like it was my business page, whatever. But then I actually really started promoting myself as my own brand to when they were like, I don't care about your clients. Like, where are you at? You know what I mean? Like I would put, like I remember at first, cause that's what my page was at first, was like for my makeup brand.
Interesting. Yep.
And then I transitioned it to me, to where it's like people were like, I don't like. My client told me, she's like, you need to make a separate page for like your makeup business and this, because clearly people love to see you, but then it's like there's like mixed reviews on you, like on what you're posting. So it's like I had to separate the two to just brand myself differently, because then I had my own brand of me and then my brand of my makeup business. So it's like I completely but once I separated it, that's when my following went crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because then I
okay.
built my
So you niched it down.
Definitely
pretty much.
niche it down.
Yeah.
If you have a niche of what you're doing with whatever businesses you're doing, niche them down. Like don't mix them, because then it's just like there's
too much going on.
There's too much going on.
Yep.
But if you're doing your own brand of you, keep that separate. But then have your own. If you have businesses, keep those separate of their own niche for sure.
That's great advice.
100%.
Yeah.
Because that's when you attract the crowd for your specific niche.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then, that's when I really started scaling my makeup business as well. Is like when I just kept it strictly for beauty, and then I kept on my modeling and all my personal and like all my lifestyle things for myself. Yeah. So that's how I just completely separated, and that's how it really started growing.
What do you do more of now? Is it makeup? Is it modeling? Is it like 80% modeling now and then 20% makeup?
So
or is
honestly,
it like
I'm like still makeup is definitely my bread and butter always.
passion,
Like still very much a makeup artist, but actually I'm very much amplifying my makeup business now and my own branding of myself.
Sure.
So there are things on the back end that we're working on.
Okay.
To be continued.
Oh, damn.
To be announced, But there are definitely new ventures in my life to where I'm amplifying both. So now in my makeup business, I'm actually focusing more on teaching, on building a course and teaching.
Wow.
Yeah, because truly, I feel like I've I love what I do. I'm so thankful for my journey in makeup. And now I feel like there are women out there, I'm thinking of my younger self, right?
Sure.
I'm thinking of
Absolutely.
the younger girls who are just wanting to get into this. Like, I could be someone to teach these girls on how to get to where I did, on how to teach them on the skill set that I have.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's actually, so that's what I'm working on to be announced. But
Dude.
yeah.
That's insane. I think it's just like the progression too. Because to me, that's like next step up, you know, with the coursing and stuff. I watch a lot of YouTube too, but then it's almost like there's steps to this shit.
Tiers.
There's tiers.
There's tiers,
Yeah.
100%.
That course is like the next tier, and then all of a sudden you're just creating like your own media platform.
Yeah.
It's
Your
kind of
own
like you're
brand.
just keep going up
You know what
from
I mean?
here. Yeah,
your
that's
own
amazing.
product.
Yeah, exactly.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, for sure. So when someone's starting off to where you wanted to start off, what would your biggest advice be as far as like, because sometimes like you've been doing it for a long time, and obviously you have a big following with social media, and you built yourself up to that. The problem is that when we tend to give people advice, it's so far out of reach, right? Because they'll see your social media and then they'll be like, well, 300 something followers, what the fuck? Well, fuck, I have like 600. You know what I mean? What advice, useful advice, and what can people do right away if they wanted to follow, like just starting off with anything, content creation, anything in social media?
So absolutely. So the beauty of social media now versus then is anyone can go viral these days. Anybody. Truly, they're making it accessible for anybody, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Like, truly, they want you to be successful, but the first and foremost is you need to be just first off, start.
Yep.
Make the start for yourself and just do it. Like, even if it's like one little thing at a time, right? Yeah. But just make the goal for yourself every day to just do one thing for social media every day. Do a post every day.
Okay, that's a good one. So
yes.
Number one, if you are getting into content creation, depending on what it is, of course, do a post every day.
Do a post every
consistently.
Day. Yes.
Yeah.
And like right now, like it's crazy how much the algorithm in social media is always changing, right?
Yeah.
Because like when I first started, it was like Instagram, and it was like Instagram and Facebook actually.
Right.
To where it was like photos were the big thing.
Yeah,
right?
Facebook, you're really
now,
showing.
right? Dude, we throw
You're
back
really
right
showing.
there, right? We just throw back.
Going all the
but
way
you know
back.
what's crazy is
Yeah.
Facebook owns Instagram. So
I
it's
crazy.
Like,
I know.
Yeah, that's
I
what
know.
I'm saying. But it's like Facebook was the OG, right?
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
Instagram
Man.
came through.
Yeah.
But right now, they want people want to see videos. People like, you know what I mean? People want to have something to watch. Like truly, it's like the dopamine in the brain and just keep on repeatedly watching videos, right?
Right.
So even if it's just
these guys have it niched down, like they have it down to a science. They're smarter than us when it comes to this shit. They got like people from casinos working on how to addict you on social media.
Yes.
If you notice, like of course everyone kind of knows this now, but then our attention spans, they break reels down into like what, a minute 30, shorts on YouTube even shorter at 60 seconds, which is like fucking nut. They got it down to a science.
Yeah, they want you to repeat. They want you to keep watching the videos. So it's like, exactly. They want to, like, even if you have, so here's a little gem. Okay. Even if you have like a video on loop for like a minute, like a second, right? It's like a second video, but you write something out like a paragraph to where they have to read it. You just had someone repeat your video 10 times, but they're reading your actual post, but it just looped 10 times to where you just got 10 views.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a
wow.
little tips and tricks there.
That's
gems.
so fascinating. Yeah, just.
But that's
Yeah, for sure. And that's for everything. I mean, like just captions too. Everything that you see is so curated and planned out. Captions, what's it called? Like the pictures you'll put up while we're talking, you know, like you'll just have these all these visuals to just kind of like keep you there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Wow, dude, that's amazing. So what do you have any other advice before I ask you, we move on from this, like anything else for your person that's just starting off, other than just start and, be consistent?
Be yourself. Truly if you love something of what you do and you want someone to see it, literally take the best version of you and be yourself and show that light of you. Because no matter what in this world, no one is you, and that is the flex.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great because, yeah, you're right. Well, especially when people start getting into a camera, just fucking, they're a whole other person. It's
Trust me, I understand. But it's like once you get the flow of it and you keep going, it's just with anything. It's just like riding a bike. When you first start, it's uncomfortable because you don't know what the fuck you're doing, right?
Yeah.
At first, but it's like once you get the flow of things going, you're like, okay, this worked. Okay, this didn't work. It's like no matter what, you trial and tribulation every time.
Yep.
It's whatever. You have to fail to learn, but you're gonna fail forward and you're gonna be better every single time you go.
Yep. Perfect. And you're the only one that could do you, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you're one out of 7 billion people.
And just everyone has done what you're like. There, so many people have done what you're trying to do, but you haven't done it yet. That's the biggest thing.
That's awesome. So, also one of these, what we like to do in this podcast is that, you know, what would we teach about our younger self? This is more of, since you are a female, this is gonna be for the guys, because I've said this before that I think there's a lot of cross-sex mind reading, which means if you ask a guy what a girl wants, he'll probably say some shit just because he thinks that's what a girl wants. But guess what? You're not a girl. Right. And that's the same goes for a girl. It's kind of like, well, why does that guy do that? I think if I were him, I would do this. Well, you're not a guy.
You're not a guy.
So that's why I like to ask this. So if, you know, a big part of like growing up, at least what I had to go through, and trust me, a lot of, like, probably 80% of men go through, is pretty much when you're starting off, like, to approach a woman, what would you say, or what would you like for a guy if they wanted to, like, approach you? Right? Just as simple as that.
That's interesting, because you know what's crazy? I've never really been... I've never like connected to a guy off of him approaching me. I actually get the ick when a guy approaches me, to be so honest with you.
Yeah. So I want to clarify because trust me, I know what you're saying. I think it's probably
but
just
if
like
I
anyone
wanted
else.
a guy to approach me, what would I want him to say? Right?
Yeah, because I get kind of where you're going to. It's almost like, well, if you work with a guy, you want it to organically just kind of come about
honestly,
and grow into him.
Every guy that I've ever really truly like been connected to in that way, intimately or whatever, I was friends with him before.
Right.
You know.
Here's the problem: a lot of guys don't even know how to get to that step.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Even if they work. Because I still work at a physical location, right? Not just doing this. And not for me anymore, because I'll just go get whatever the fuck I want nowadays, you know what I mean? Because I'm a lot older and I'm more experienced now. But for, like, say, my younger self, it's almost like, wait, how do I talk to this girl, you know? And a lot of people can't be themselves at that age because they're scared to be. They're insecure. You know, they probably don't work out. They're not confident in themselves yet. So they're like, man, but what they're
you know
thinking,
what? I think that alone in itself is huge. Like truly having the confidence in you and carrying that in you to where people feel that when you walk into a room. People feel that when you speak. 100%. And because if you're insecure and you're coming at me, I'm gonna smell that shit a mile away. You know what I mean?
You're saying the very things that there's a lot of girls that I ask this question just to do it, just to like take a survey. And I don't really tell them that I'm doing it. Just, you know, I just ask them.
Just to throw it out there.
But they're always so naive to it. Not that like, they might know subconsciously that when a guy comes up to them with their shoulders lowered and then they're like head down and then they're not looking at them with eye contact.
Right.
That it's like, okay. But then they know, they're like, oh, this guy, like, he's not like a man, you know what I mean? It's not like he's not confident. His self-esteem's really low. And as bad as that is to say, and a lot of people, everyone has self-esteem issues, but damn, like, at least act like it. You know what I mean? Because
you gotta carry yourself that way. Because like truly, like, I will sense it. My sixth sense will sense it. I'll be like, bro, like, just give me the drink and I'm gonna keep it pushing.
Yeah, exactly. But I do definitely get what you mean. So if some guy did have to, because what I just said, because most guys don't get the opportunity to even get to that second step of like being around like the girl, they're probably attracted to that girl, but then they don't even get that opportunity to
Don't
like
even
get to
know what
know
to
her.
say,
Like they don't know what to
yeah.
say. There's no organic here because they don't know what to say. They
Right.
don't know. And culturally, like in society, guys have to do the legwork, right? They have to. I mean, we're expected, right?
You
Yeah.
gotta carry the little weight for it, yeah.
Yeah, because long story short, it's almost, I've seen like some girls and then they're like, what do you mean? I was the one that told you that I liked you first. I was like, no, I gave you like the hardest signals and then you came up to me and you told me that you like me. You know what I
But you
mean?
know it's so crazy. It's crazy. It's like when you play hard to get, it makes them want you more.
Yep.
And that's with anything. And it's fucked up, but it's just the way it is.
Right.
It's just the way it is.
Right.
And I just know this off of my own experiences in my life.
We want what we can't have.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Even when you know you like have the maybe you once had the access to it, to maybe they wanted you more, right?
Yeah.
And now it's reversed, and now
Yeah.
it's like cat and mouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Good man.
I read a lot of psychology books and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and it's the scarcity principle. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Even not even just talking about dating. If there was a car for sale and both parties came and went to go check it out, and then one party was like, "Oh, I'll take this," the other party's gonna want it just
Right.
because it's
Just
getting
'cause
taken
it's
away
taken
from
away.
them.
Yeah, the
Not
access.
necessarily because the car's great,
Right.
but it's just because they don't want to get upped. You know,
Right,
like
yeah, they don't want to see someone else have what they maybe could have.
fucking
right?
interesting, huh? It's
Fucked
so
up,
interesting,
dude.
It's
It
like
is
scarce.
fucked up. Because like truly, that has happened so many times in my life. I can honestly say, with a lot of the men in my life, it was a cat and mouse situation. Like it was always like they wanted me more than I wanted them, or I wanted them more than they wanted me.
Yeah.
Right. But then it's like once they realize, like it's just crazy how that happens.
Yeah.
But
It's back and forth,
yes,
and forth, pretty much.
But I feel like, I feel like as if you're a man trying to approach a woman, I feel like just have it be like more effortless. Just kind of don't even look at it in the sense of trying to
Right.
get at them. Just like maybe just like see, and then women are different though, because it's like some women don't like being approached at all, right?
Yeah.
They like I said, like me, I feel like I'm that type of girl, like to where I'm like. But if you come at me like a friend, and you come at me like maybe like in a laughing manner, we love to laugh,
Playfulness,
man.
for
we
sure.
love to laugh. If you can make me laugh, you will literally break down my wall a little bit to where I'm like, all right, like let me hear what you gotta say.
Right.
So if you could get me to laugh, bro, you already kind of got the little.
Right.
The foot in a little bit.
Yeah,
know
like
what
you
I
planted
mean?
the seed.
Yeah, you planted
Yeah.
the seed a little bit. Now
Yeah.
maybe like you kind of crack the door a little bit. All right, and I'll just keep on going. I feel like the humor always gets women love humor.
Yeah.
Humor is sexy, all right?
Absolutely.
If you funny, you could be ugly as fuck, but if you're like truly, you could be ugly, but if you funny, girls will
Yeah, dude.
girls will truly like
Bro,
break down that wall.
you see it all the time. You see it. It's so cliche to say nowadays,
Yeah.
where it's like, the old adage of she's out of your league kind of thing. It's like you see it all the time, as far as physical looks, at least. I mean, I don't want it nowadays. I don't tend to say that, like, out of the league stuff, just
Yeah.
because it's like, really, what is that?
But you know what's crazy? A lot of the times, like the hottest guys, fucking douchebag. Like, bro, like
Right.
you're beautiful, but you know you're beautiful, so you're just a dick.
Right.
You're just literally the dick. But
Let-
but it's the guy who's a little mediocre. Is kind of he's mid. He's kind of like medium ugly. You know?
He's a little bit handsome, you know what I mean? But he's kind of funny. Yeah.
But he's funny. Oh, I'll take that guy any fucking
That's
day, bro.
hilarious. Yeah.
Literally.
Well, with the guy, okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. Can you with the guy that's really good looking and stuff like that? Can you blame him?
What?
As far
Can you
as
blame
like,
him or what?
because optionality, right? Because a lot of guys, like I said, a lot of guys are the ones that have to make the offer to girls, meaning that they have to offer the drink, or they have to offer the date, or they have to offer, or what you doing at 2 o'clock in the
They
morning.
gotta be, yeah,
They have to
exactly.
be the one to initiate it.
Yeah.
But that guy, that's probably in the like top 10%. It's not a lot of them. That's the fucking tall guy that everyone loves and all that. He just has a symmetrical face, I guess. But it's almost like, he might just be a douchebag just because he has all these optionalities.
Right, and he has the options to where it's like, you know what? If you say no, he doesn't give a fuck. Or you
Right.
might have to be the one to throw yourself at him because he already got 10 girls lined up to wanting to do that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like he already has the access to women to where, see,
Zoey, come up.
There's tears here. Oh,
Come up a little bit. Yeah.
He's like, come on.
You're good,
There's tears here because like I have literally met the guys who have the women like just naturally just coming at him. You know what I mean? Just he naturally attracts it like a magnet just because of he's attractive. He's beautiful. But it's like he doesn't even care to do those 1, 2, 3 steps that this guy has to do because he has that already naturally.
Right.
But it's like that also makes you not attractive to me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And I guess what I'm saying is from his perspective too, and this is going to sound kind of fucked up, but it's like, wait, why should he care? Not that I would, if I was, I guess, that good looking,
but
I
you
would.
know what?
But then it's almost like, wait, then what incentives? You get what I'm saying? What incentives does he have to be like, well, girl, I'm going to court you out if his end game is the same fucking thing anyway. Like,
Right.
women want him anyway. So it's kind of like.
But you know what's crazy? It's going to be the girl that doesn't want him to where he's going to be the one chasing her.
There
See?
it is,
That's
dude.
psychology
There
shit,
it
bro.
is. Yeah,
I'm
for
telling
sure.
you,
For
literally.
sure.
Because I've
Yeah.
seen it happen, you know,
Yeah.
time and time again.
And there are fucking like animals of girls out there that know how that shit.
Know their fucking worth.
Fuck yeah.
No, they are
Dude,
that
they're
bitch.
killers, dude.
Yes.
They're fucking killers,
yes.
dude. Like,
yes, we are. Stand with that shit. Don't let them walk all over you. It's truly if like the women who have probably just experienced that type of man, whether it was trauma, you know, they went through to where they see that type of man in someone else, they're like, ick.
yeah. Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, relationships. We talked a little bit about this, you know, at the gym and stuff like that. What do you think? So, why is it? And this isn't really just a question for you because I know me and Kim actually talked about it on the last podcast. I noticed, even you know, for myself dating a girl, that girls seem to like the emotional roller coaster ride, right? Even though there's some girls that I'll tell them be like,
Like the
no, that's not it.
toxicity?
Yeah, because what we were talking about,
it's like a drug, bro.
it's like a drug,
It
exactly.
is. It's like,
And I
it's
know what
bad
happens
for
in the
you.
brain. Yeah.
It's bad for you. It's truly like a drug.
Yeah,
think,
it
think
is.
of a drug. It's bad for you, but it's
Yeah.
like it becomes such a habit where it's like you become used to it.
Yeah, fun fact. What happens? What really happens in the brain? They took 2 scans of someone on heroin and someone that's in love, quote unquote, and they were virtually the same.
Wow.
And what's crazy is that yeah, it's a drug.
It's a drug.
It's a drug.
Yeah.
It fires all the neurons in the brain that fires off like the drug inhibitors.
Ugh, man.
So that's why heartbreaks are so terrible.
Right. And I
Right.
feel
They're
like
terrible.
And I
They're
feel like
terrible.
that's why girls will always repeatedly go back to someone because
Yeah.
it's a drug.
Yeah,
it truly
absolutely.
is, and you become in this comfortability stage to where you feel like that's the best thing for you because at one point that was all you wanted in your life, and it's like I feel like it's like also like latching on to this version of you who thought this was everything you wanted it to be when it's like in reality it's just a fucking fantasy.
Yeah,
you know?
And the funny thing is that you and all of us have created that fantasy in our heads, right?
Right.
It's not really the
Trust.
person it's at night when you're ruminating and that you're thinking, wow, look, the guy or girl might not even be that perfect, but now everything they do that annoys, it's supposed to be annoying, you fucking love about them just because all those fucking neurotransmitters are firing in your
Right.
head.
Or
Or like, oh
making
my
it
God,
okay.
that's so cute.
It's like love is blind, bro. Like
Yeah.
you literally like you allow it to be okay because you love this person so much, but in reality, it's like they're actually truly deteriorating you from the inside, and
Yeah,
you're not even
it's true. Yeah.
realizing it. And I actually just recently went through a relationship like that.
Yeah.
That was, bro, it was like the most manipulative, like it was probably the craziest relationship I've ever been through in a sense of like being addicted to someone and it being a bad addiction, and it's like not even realizing it that they're truly bringing you down in every way with them to where you're losing yourself, like
Yeah.
truly, because I feel like that, like going back to like me saying how I went through these things in my life to where I had like create like just like blocks of myself, but it was because of the relationship I was in. It's because it's like I feel like because I wasn't there was something in me to where I was truly not in my self-love era. I was giving all myself to someone else to where I was truly losing myself.
Yep.
To where that truly, like I said, it bleeds in all areas of your life. And it becomes a block to you. It truly becomes a block to you. Like if you're with someone who truly does not deserve you and is bringing you down with them like an anchor, you're blocking yourself from your own blessings because you're allowing this person to keep continuously to do this to you.
Right. And it's pretty common just because you see everyone go through it, right? And so I was watching this like video of like a Harvard psychiatrist, and most people they start to lose self-respect for themselves. And all self-respect means is you're externalizing your own happiness to someone else.
Yes.
That's really what it is, right?
You're sacrificing your own happiness for someone else. Like,
Exactly.
why am I trying to make you happy more than myself?
Yeah.
Why am I allowing this to be okay when you're actually really fucking hurting me?
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's
But
like, no.
It's a drug, right?
It
And
is.
it's almost again.
Poison.
I was talking about this on the last podcast too. Is that there's a fine line between having someone support you and having someone be your crutch.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yes.
like you want someone supportive, but you don't want them to take care of your problems. You could do that on your own.
And you don't want to take care of their problems.
Exactly.
You can't fucking fix them.
You know what I mean? It shows a lot about character, right?
Yes.
But most people do because, again, with, I like my neurochemistry, and your forebrain shuts down, which means your thinking brain shuts down.
Yes.
When you're in love or whatever, right? It just.
But when it's like bad love, when it's toxic
Ooh,
love,
yeah.
it's like truly just like
Yeah.
shutting down the version of you that is all light and love, and you truly become blinded
Right.
by this version of you that was created because you're trying to hold on to something that isn't good for you.
Yeah, and some people trap themselves. They move in together, and then all of a sudden
They have a
just-
fucking kid with them.
Dude,
Oh my god! See, I
everything,
am so
everything. They marry 'em,
thankful.
you know what I mean?
I
Like-
am so
Yeah.
so thankful. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I'm so thankful. I never got pregnant. I'm thankful I never went through those phases to where I had to be stuck with someone.
You
like
see?
that. You know what I
That's
mean?
cognitive reframing. I mean, you could always. It's almost like, it's like one of the worst things, right? For that to happen, that whole toxic relationship, and then all of a sudden the breakup is terrible, and it's gonna be terrible for months.
Right.
Months on end. It's not just like, okay, we're done. It's like a year.
No,
For some people,
bro,
it's years.
It's years.
Yeah,
It's
it's
truly
years.
like, and especially when there's a lot of trauma created in that relationship, you don't even even though time heals, of course, but you don't even realize like certain points in your life, you're going to get triggered again, and you're going to be like, damn, like this part of me isn't healed yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Like actually, this actually really does still hurt me. Like it just brings me back to the pain as if I just felt it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, that pain, it takes a minute to heal, but it's also like I would rather be alone than live with that trauma and that feeling of knowing like that it's truly bringing me down.
Yeah, because you'll start to get like spurs of you balancing out, and then you're like, wait, what the fuck was I thinking? But then the next day you're like, fuck, I miss him. You know what I mean? Like it's like those chemicals are going back. Like fuck, dude.
You hear a song, you're like,
Yeah, dude.
it's crazy how like manipulative the mind can be sometimes, because it's like this person treated you like absolute dog shit, right? Like you actually know like this, you were not meant for me. I'm so thankful we're not together. But then you have those moments of like, remember these times?
Yeah.
Remember those good times? I saw a post when it was like, remember when he bought me flowers? And she was like, remember when he punched you in the face? And I was like, that's it, girl. Like,
Yeah.
remember that shit. Like, I feel like a lot of people will truly be like blinded of the fact of all the good times. Like, you think of all the good times of this
Yep.
person. Because like, in those times, like that was everything you ever wanted with someone.
Yeah.
But remember the bad times.
Right.
Remember why you feel this way.
Yeah.
Remember why you're in this situation. Remember why you left in the fucking first place.
Yeah.
Because that feeling, remember that and you'd be like, all right, I'm good.
For sure.
I'm
I think something about it too is that self-pity is a motherfucker, just because sometimes it does get comfortable. You know,
Yeah.
like it does. It's like, wait, let me wallow in my pity and fucking, you know what I mean? It's like you miss that person. You're just like, you know what? Let me just fucking stay there. Like,
Yeah,
let me
and
just
it's like,
fucking lay in bed
they
and
know
just
me
like,
the best.
yeah. And
know.
it's like more of a comfort. Like you
Yeah.
wallow in that like,
And
fuck.
comfortability is the fucking devil, bro.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
really is. It
Yeah.
does not. It's just. It does nothing but hold you back from the best version of you.
Right.
Especially when you're staying with someone who doesn't appreciate all versions of you, or who isn't bringing the best version out of you. You know what I mean? If someone is truly bringing a version of you that you hate to come out, they should not be your person. You know, like we're not perfect. You know, relationships aren't perfect. But if there are more bad times than good times,
Yeah.
you gotta go.
It's true. It's
if you're
true.
crying more than you're smiling, if y'all, you know what I mean? If you're literally feeling more anxiety, more depression, more, you know, if you're feeling more of those feelings versus all I feel like your person should be the one person to help heal your anxiety,
Support.
to help be your support.
That's what it is.
To truly make you feel the best version of you.
Yeah.
And if you're not feeling like that, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, and that's one of the things I think personally for me when I tend to meet a girl, like some girls just kind of cruise, you know. This personally for me, but I need to be with someone that's enthusiastic to be with me.
Right.
Like and some people will be like, well, that's a no-brainer. No, like you'll see some girls and then it's all about them. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
all about them. They ask you no questions. That's another one. If they don't ask you questions, that goes for guys and girls.
Right.
If they don't ask you questions about yourself, oh, dude, that's a big
Being
one.
with someone who only talked about themselves, bro.
Yeah, it's, believe it or not, and
Bro.
it's crazy because you have to find that line because you could tell they are attracted to you, but not in that. It's like, oh, but you're not like a relationship type. You're only attracted to the idea of me,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not.
The
You don't really
idea of
give
me.
a fuck about me. Like,
Yeah, I feel like you're in lust with me.
yeah, you
know
tell
what
them
I
something
mean?
serious. You tell them something serious, and then it's almost like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then they move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay,
Like
well,
brush
fuck
it off. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like not even keeping note of that. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to do what I want regardless. Like, oh, that bothers you? Well, that, like, you know, well, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to change.
Yeah.
Like, having a relationship like that to where it's like, you can't make adjustments for your person. Because no matter what, we're not perfect in life, right? There are things, if you feel like you don't need to work on yourself, like I feel like when you're with someone, you come front and center with things you need to work on yourself, and you want to be better because you want to be better for your person. You know, you have to do these things to adjust and to try to be better, to have better relationships in your life and with yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who thinks you don't need to change,
Yeah.
that's narcissist.
I think there's this business guy, Jim Rome. I mean, he says the best is that I'll take care of myself so I could take care of you, and you take care of you so you could take care of me, right? It's almost like you got to take care of yourself first.
Yes.
Be healthy mentally.
You gotta do the work,
Healthy. Yeah, you got
know?
to do the work, and
Yeah.
then you can watch out for or support whoever you need
Yeah.
to support. But if you're not good internally,
Yeah.
then everything is fucked.
Exactly,
Right?
because we're all flawed no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, it doesn't make it a bad thing necessarily, but it's like there are all things we can all be better at, you know? We can always be a better version of ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Always.
And especially if there are things that trigger people to like bring out a negative emotion out of someone and makes them not feel good, wouldn't you want to work on that in yourself and
Right.
for people in your life that you love?
Yeah.
Just so you could be better and have like just better energy around you,
Absolutely.
you know? But if not, then what
So
like, but if not, we can spar. We
yeah.
can get the gloves
We
on.
Get it, dude. You're a feisty one, man. When it comes to sparring, I'm like, hey, Zoe, we're just sparring. We're not actually fighting, and I'm not your ex-boyfriend, okay?
So I be coming in there feeling all
Dude, hot,
all
just
the
hot.
tense,
Yeah,
all the tenseness that I couldn't get out. You know?
No, I love it,
seen that
man. I
hook,
love
bro.
it. I know. I've seen it. Trust me, I've seen it. But so, man, I knew this was gonna be a banger. But I didn't expect it to be like fucking dynamite, fucking just going. We went fucking ham.
We
Like,
did.
we went a little crazy.
We did.
So last thing, there's a tradition here
Aw,
in the
shit.
podcast. What would you say for anyone, just a self-improvement aspect? Where do you think someone should start if they're just kind of on the couch and they don't know what to do with themselves? I know I asked you like a version of this question in the beginning of the podcast.
More for
but
business aspect though, right?
yeah, more for a business aspect,
As
but
in
just in general, because I like obviously talking to you and knowing you at the gym, you build yourself up. You're consistent. You got a brand for yourself. You're only getting better from here, doing iterations. But again, from like a standpoint to where that's it to people that's so unreachable because you've already built yourself up. What are the first few things do you think that it's like, okay, I need to get my life together? What's the first thing you would do?
First thing I would do.
The very first thing. Doesn't have to be in a business sense. It doesn't have to be anything to kind of get you motivated, to get you going.
Okay, well, first and foremost, health. Health is everything. Health is wealth. Make sure you're getting your vitamin D. Please go outside, enjoy some Mother Nature. Truly, that is the most healing thing you can do for yourself. It's just going outside and actually really being one with yourself and actually having the time to really appreciate life in a sense. I feel like people really don't appreciate the little things of life. Like being able to go outside and to walk, to see, to hear, to literally just like be in the present, in the moment, like that is such a beautiful thing of its own. So truly just going outside, telling yourself 5 things you're grateful for in your life, in yourself, in your family, and just things of you, literally starting your day with gratitude. Telling yourself 5 things that you're grateful for. Because truly, if you wake up with gratitude, you will truly just lead your day with the best attitude possible to where that's going to drive you to want to do more things better for yourself. I feel like I definitely, the moment I really started meditating and really taking initiative to go be one and be in my gratefulness, that's when I really just started being very present with myself. I feel like people are always just so consumed of either the future or the past.
Yep.
To where they're not truly in the moment. To where it's like, because to be honest, the past is gone. You can't get that shit back. The future doesn't fucking exist yet. Right? But what are you doing right now for you? What can you do right now to change the moment for you? What can you do right now to where you're going to make your future self proud of yourself? Yep. You know what I mean? Because they're waiting for you. Your future self is there waiting for you to get it going. It's literally rooting for you, waiting for you. But what are you going to do right now to make that difference for yourself?
Right. Very nice. Nicely put. I will second that notion, and I would have to say that, yeah, focus on, there's a lot of things that we can't control in life, a lot of things. And what you said about the past and the future, those aren't here. The only moment in time is the present, if you think about it, right? What I just said is not the present right now, right? We're living it. Exactly. And the thing is that this is going to be hard to do, but you can't think of the results and the expectations that you have for yourself because you're not entitled to them. Right, exactly. You can be, when it comes to business or, getting a job, you can have the highest GPA to, get a job as like a lawyer or a doctor, but that job is still not guaranteed for you. Right. The best thing you could do is just the very best thing you could do. Right. Do your best at the present moment. If you need to work on something, focus on that. Don't focus on, but it's not going to work out in the future if I do this. No, just take the action that you need to do. Just take the action. Literally, don't be scared to fail. Want to fail. Please. I need to fail so you can learn. When you fail, you learn. Literally, if you don't fail, you're not trying, for one. It's just information, right? Truly. Failing is also, it's just dialing it in to be better for the next version of you. Because you're always these new versions of you every day. You're going to be better than you were yesterday. You know what I mean? Maybe today you had to go through this roadblock to get through it, to know like, okay, for next time I see this coming, I'm going to know what to do to where I can maneuver through it. You know what I mean? So it's more of anything, just failing forward, man. Don't be scared to fail. Like that is truly all successful people, they all have to go through failure to get to what they want. Yes. All trial and tribulation. But also just knowing that when you are failing, you're improving. Always. And I feel like that's another thing. People feel like they have to be so perfect and they compare themselves to these people who are doing already. You know how many times they had to fail to get to where they're at? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you just have just do it. Like Shia LaBeouf. Yeah. Do it. Perfect to the point to where it's crippling, to where they don't even start in the first place. It's kind of like, oh fuck, like they set their standards so high where it's just, hey man, like first of all, I don't want to discourage anyone, but you got a long road ahead of you before you even think that far.
Yes, exactly. Because the person that you're seeing right now doing it, but you know what? They just fucking did it. They took the chance and did it for themselves. Yeah. Literally, what do you got to lose? What do you got to lose?
Yep.
Nothing. Just do it. Go hard for you, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna be so happy. Your future self is literally waiting for you. They already know. They're waiting for you to get to there. But it's like right now, it's just the push to go. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
100%.
I promise you are literally not gonna regret it once you actually start getting the momentum and actually start feeling it. Because that's when you start getting out of the plateau. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
perfect. Yeah. Amazing. Bro. Wow, this is this legit. I've done obviously only like 7 episodes. This is one of probably the best podcast. Because it was so insightful. It's so insightful, yes. And of course it's you. You just have that personality and very personable. But thanks for coming on, Zoe. Yeah, you're amazing. You're amazing, dude.
Let's go. My boy.